Hello everybody, it is Sunday the 16th of October. I want to talk about this idea of an artificial reality and how this is far out. What is far out at the moment is our reasoning. In fact, it is out of control. And we really need to bring it back to earth. Because this idea of an artificial reality is extremely important. But it is not out there in other dimensions, it's right here. It is an awakening, an expansion of our mind. Yes, that is what is happening. But we need to be in control of it. Of how far do we expand? How far does it even serve us? Yeah, and at the moment, as I said, this expansion is out of control. And we need to step on the serpent's head, so to speak. Watch my video before about the serpent. So what causes the expansion of our minds? If there is no need to think or to know any more than what you know. You know what you know, you think what you think, you're pottering along nicely, there is no real need for an expansion, then it usually doesn't happen for most of us. Some are curious. Curiosity is a thing that causes expansion of the mind. I believe cats know an awful lot about that. What else? Your beautiful imagination will create an expansion of the mind. Doubt, as I spoke about in my last video, the need to justify yourself, where you feel the need to justify yourself. So you need information that would justify your stance. And another one that causes the expansion of the mind is quite simply need. Where there is a threat to your existence, you cannot potter along anymore. You are forced to think about a change, and that is thinking about other possibilities. The possibility of doing things differently to create a change. Because as you're running into destruction. So that is where we're at the moment. It is an expansion caused by need, mostly. So then what happens when you have the need for a change, the need for a correction? That is repentance. We're in repentance. We have identified the need for a correction. And we're now looking for that correction. So what happens at that moment is the mind, the rational mind, starts searching. And it is being given. Knowledges are being illuminated, and those knowledges are within you. That's your bottomless pit, that is your subconscious. Everything is in there. If you say that everything is the holographic view, that everything is contained even in the smallest part. So everything is contained within you, and the search of the rational mind illuminates. It brings knowledge to awareness that was deep in the bottomless pit because you didn't use it. There was no need for it. So it brings it to awareness. And that's what is happening to us. And now if we talk about spiritual knowledge, we talk about the knowledge of ourselves. That is what was illuminated in us, and we give that knowledge to others. And on the internet, we do that all the time. We are speaking really always from the personal perspective, our knowledge. And we're given our knowledge about this, that, and the other thing. And sometimes people cluster around a revelation that somebody gave of themselves because that is relevant to them. It's relevant in their life. It will serve them in their life. A lot of thoughts never take off, either because people don't hear them or they are not of great relevance to others. And some thoughts just take off. They become really big because people just attach themselves because somehow they know there's something in that. And this sort of a artificial reality, people grasp onto that. So now, but what happens when it comes, it is grown out, it is brought up by a feeling, which creates a term, in the rational mind, artificial reality. But then we must interpret that. What does it mean, artificial reality? Now, artificial, again, a lot of it we already know. We are that stuff that is around us is artificial. That is to say, it was not arranged by nature. It was made out of the parts of nature, but it was not arranged by nature itself. So you have, for instance, no natural occurring plastic. I don't think you have. So there is what we know artificial in our lives. The stuff that we use, our clothes, out of artificial fibers, our food, is as far removed from nature as it can get. So we know that, but there's more. We need to go further out. We need to expand on the idea of artificial. So artificial reality. And then, as I said, we can go endlessly. Driven by imagination. Well, a lot of it is now driven by imagination. There's very little fact-based. Or just the consideration of possibilities, and it drives us all the way into dimensions and God knows what. But if we stay a bit more fact-based, and that is facts are, we are the fact. We are the fact. So it should be attached to us. What we're looking at should be attached to us. And I have seen, as I said, natural is arranged by nature. It's something that is created, that is arranged by when nature arranges its own parts. Artificial is somebody arranges something in an unnatural way that wouldn't otherwise occur. Our artificial reality, and it is extremely important, is the artificial arrangement of information. The artificial arrangement of not based on our nature, not how we would have arranged it if we knew it out of ourselves. I'll give you a few examples here. Now, I just watched videos, and that really triggered me this morning to where this thing fell into place. There was a video about an American politician, Alexandra Cortez. Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. They call her AOC. Yeah? And there is an artificial reality around that woman. And they showed that in the video, where she's on every talk show, where she's been elevated by the media. Yeah? She's here, there, and everywhere. Which would give to people the impression of an important person. And here's another thing that happens in you. When you think somebody elevated above yourself, you are in awe. Awe means that you are aware of your own smallness compared to that person. Yeah? And with that, she has more power. So, And that video just showed a reality, and that is she was given a talk and something in a town hall which was not terribly big, and there was hardly anybody there. People didn't come in reality. And those that were there were heckling her, were speaking up against her. So there is a picture, if you were in that room, you would have experienced reality in its fullness. That is the reality of AOC. But if you just look at the media, you are in an artificial reality. They elevate something out of the masses, which gives you then the feeling of awe and a completely wrong perspective of what's happening. There's the artificial reality. So another example is the illness that went around. Now, at the beginning, we were given truth, and that is that if you're a healthy person, it will barely affect you, or maybe not affect you at all, and that it was the majority, the vast majority of people that applied to, it wouldn't affect you. Yeah? So we knew, but then again the media created an artificial reality through constant giving of information. And here in Britain there were the symbolism, you know, the big red numbers, statistics, which are the devil's favorite tool at the moment, and stuff like that. And people drifted from maybe having known at the start, had made an assessment of themselves, are born out of the knowledge of themselves, you know, how much is the threat actually for me. But through the complete bombardment of information, they honestly drifted into an artificial reality that was no longer based on their own biological truth. And they started to react again. It gave them feelings, it gave them the feeling of fear, and they started to react on those feelings. Did stuff to save themselves when they should have known they were not in danger. There is the artificial reality. Religion, third example, is a great one to create artificial realities. And that is when you are completely bombarded with the idea of that you are nothing, you are filled with sin, you are just selfish, there's nothing in you that wants to give. That's Kabbalah in any way, but you know, you're just bombarded with that. You're nothing. You're just wrong in every way. And for me, and that is actually what started me on this all this time ago, and even what made me leave the Kabbalah after I looked into it for a while, was that my nature rose up against that. I said, that's not true. That is not my truth. I'm not just sinful. I'm not just thinking of myself all the time. That is not my reality. That is not who I am. But if you are, and here goes, and there's a trap there, and that is the serpent. Because if you then start not looking for your own truth, that is to say elevating your own truth, you know, what is good in you, but you start looking, are they right? And then you start looking in your bottomless pit, and you know, you're searching under the heading of I am nothing, I'm getting it wrong, I am selfish. That is what is in your search engine, so to speak. And then your bottomless pit will give you the information according to the search engine. It will bring up the information according to the question, or to the search. And if you continuously do that, and you're under the same search all the time, it will elevate all of those elements that are bad in you. Okay, I mean, you're not perfect, to the point where you believe it is all. Again, then you are in an artificially created view of yourself. And it was created by the church because that started you searching for those things. Go deep into yourself and find your sin. Yeah? Make sure you see how sinful you are. Put it into your search engine and it will show you the truth. That is artificially created, and you have no diversity in your searches, because it would show you something else if you put something else into the search bar. Anyway, so there is what we must, and that is a function of ourselves. That is how we function. How the rational mind takes in information and then is really like a deer in the headlight, just seeing that bit, and does not get out of it to look at other things. So that is a knowledge of ourselves. That is how artificial realities are created, and that is a knowledge that will serve us here if we can catch ourselves doing that and say, snap out of it. You are creating a certain reality. Snap out of just the one perception and go somewhere else to get a more rounded picture. So we must catch ourselves. We must understand that that has been done to us, and we must catch ourselves doing it and then do something different. But, as I said, these haven't been given the term, and so many people agreed with it, the term of artificial reality, and then trying to give a meaning to it, expanding our mind to give a meaning to it, and then shooting way past the point, completely past the point. As I said, if we keep going, we can go to infinity and beyond. And there's absolutely no point. It is no longer relevant to the problem we are facing right now. And I know I'm probably elevating him out of the crowd now unduly. Again, how much importance does he actually have in reality? Yeah, he's in my awareness, and it would appear that he's been promoted like he's in everybody's awareness. Maybe he's not. I'm talking about David Icke. But, he is saying, all the authorities, they are in fear, and they are in fear of me. Darling, they are not. You are doing their works. You are driving people away into all possibilities, past the point where the understanding should have been. And as I said, if that understanding of what this term artificial reality actually means to us right now, if that is the point of light, if you're below that understanding, you're in darkness. But if you go away from the light, you again go into darkness. So he is basically driving people back into darkness by going too far. Some keep people in darkness by never reaching a point of awareness that is light, and others drive into darkness by driving them too far out. So, there we go. Yes, we are living in an artificially created reality. And that is actually based on reality. The best lie is a half lie that has a root in reality. Yeah, so these people exist. The illness existed. So there they are based in reality. What is actually happening is a distortion, where things are elevated to a point of importance that they don't naturally have, or facts are being arranged in a way that is artificially created. And the truth is within you. The truth is within you. What you know to be true is truth. And it is created out of your rational mind and out of your feeling. And trust them. Trust yourself. And get out of this. You know, the other thing, David Icke says, is that we are in this field of, all this information. But you must take out of that field what is your truth, what will serve you and those around you. And then you are in nature, in your nature, driven by your nature. And as I said, not whatever I want, but what would serve. What is good for me, what is truly good for me. And what is good for those around me. And then you are in reality, you're in nature. And out of the artificial reality. Anyway, I leave it at that for today, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.